When a prospect tells you, I need to think about it, what does that mean to you? When a prospect says, I need to think about it, put in the chat, what's the meaning that you're making of it? Put that in the chat. I need to think about it. What that means for me is this. So the prompt is what the meaning, the interpretation I give it is this. So let's put that in the chat. And let's see what we got. There's a hidden concern. Don't want to make a decision. I missed something in presentation. I haven't dug deep enough. Yes. Yes. And the second question is, what's the meaning you make about it about yourself? What's the meaning that you make about it about yourself? This is really important because we're getting deeper beyond just the surface. What's the meaning that you make up about yourself? Like, fuck, I just got an objection, right? I didn't cover the discovery properly. What that means, what I'm making up about myself is what? I missed something. Yeah. Haven't had enough conviction. Yeah. I need more dojo. Yes. I feel uncertain. Yes. Yes. There's a deeper identity meaning for all of you. Even deeper than this. I want you to dig even deeper. What's the deeper destructive meaning you're making up about you? Right? There's an identity level meaning that's actually driving the bus here. When that shows up, that puts you in a flight or fight mode. I suck. Yeah, let's get fucking real. All right, let's get real. I suck. Yeah, let's get down to the truth here. I have areas to prove, which means what? Priya, which means what about you? If I have areas to improve, what are you making that mean about you? You follow me? That means this about me, right? It's a deeper subconscious stuff, but it's important to like get clear on that. To focus on commissions. So here's the point I want to make here is that the meaning you give those moments is the same meaning that your prospects give their situation. The same meaning that you give this moment is the same meaning your prospects give in your situation. Right? So the problem isn't objections. The problem is you haven't uncovered the meaning behind them. The real true meaning that's actually causing them to show up in a way to get the results that they want. Right? How many are you tracking? Put your hand to the camera if you're tracking what I'm saying. Hand to the camera. Hand to the camera. There it is. Okay. So write this down. If you don't shift their meaning, you don't shift their decision. If you don't shift their meaning, you don't shift a decision. They're there on a call for the only purpose for a call is what? The sales call is what? To make a decision. That's it. We all know this. You all know this. So if we don't shift what's truly in the way, which is always them, then the decision will be made and the objections will come up because we haven't shifted the meaning. We haven't even discussed the meaning. We haven't talked about the meaning. What are you making up about it? Right? So the real problem is this, is that some of you maybe have, but not many of you have actually investigated in your own life the meaning that you're making up about everything. I want you to write this down. Everything is a story. Write this down. Everything is a story. And if you're fighting with that story, you're fighting resistance. So every moment we're living inside of a story. Right? You're making something up about me, Nathan. Vince, you're making something up about me right now. Nick, you're making something up about me. We're always in constant interpretation mode of making things meaning something. Right? So from here, what I want to do is I want to bring somebody up. And this is an opportunity to get a little bit vulnerable, but I want to do a little bit of a hot seat of who here might be struggling inside. It could be life. It doesn't matter because sales is life. It's the same thing. Somewhere in life, there's a struggle, or somewhere in their sales, they're really, truly struggling and they want some coaching or some hot seat around this. And that person that comes up, it's going to be pretty transformational. But I want to show this live. So who here would like to jump in and get some coaching around this? Vince. All right, Vince. Vince is in the hot seat. So Vince is gonna come up, and what I'm doing here, I'm teaching you guys what I call the seven changes, the 7 stages to actually change someone's human behavior. 7 stages, right? And this is not something I even learned. It's something that I had to go through multiple death and rebirths of myself, of overcoming addiction. And I found and realized that there are 5 to 10 steps to actually that I did to change my own mindset, my own system, right? There's so many different ways to do, like people teach different things, but this is as basic as it gets. And so I'm going to run through this live, just kind of watch what happens, watch what you're experiencing, and then we'll debrief it at the end. And then I'll teach you the steps. Okay. And then we're going to apply the steps to a prospect, and we're going to apply the steps into your life. Because if I just teach you how to apply this with a prospect, and I don't teach this for you to embody this in your life, right, first, then it's going to become a tactic. So you must learn to embody this yourself and go through it yourself, because then you're going to show up and it's going to be easy because you've done it yourself. I always say, if you don't lead what you live, then it's a tactic. And this is in sales. If you don't lead what you live or have even experienced it, then you're doing things from an inauthentic place. So it's about like learning it, experiencing it, and then leading it. Okay. So Vince, let's hop in. I'm excited about this.
Quick.
Yeah.
I do have to jump at the half hour. So if you need me longer than that, then maybe somebody else who doesn't have to jump would be better. I just want to make sure. That would suck if that happened midway.
You're totally fine. Yeah.
You drilling into my brain.
I think you're fine. I think we're going to be good. Yeah. Awesome. I want to maximize the time. We'll kind of jump through. So Vince, thank you for coming on here. I would love to hear what's a current situation that you're dealing with right now. And I want you guys to hear the language that I'm using. Okay. Just pay attention to the language. What are the facts? Not the feelings, not the stories, but what's the facts of your current situation? Because how many times you guys know prospects or they show up on a call and they're coming in with narratives, they're coming in with vomiting information, they're coming up with stories, they're coming up with reasons, but those are not facts. And it takes 20 minutes to kind of get to the real truth, doesn't it? You guys know what I'm talking about? Put your hand on the camera if you know what I'm talking about. Okay. This framework I'm sharing with you gets clear on the truth and getting to the facts. Okay. But I want to do it in a real life with Vince first. Okay. So Vince, what's the situation? What's going on in your current reality? What are the facts of your current situation? What's happening in your world?
You want like life and sales?
What's one situation that's bothering you right now?
I've been in a bit of a sales slump for the past week. It's been a week since I closed a deal other than like a lay down referral from the offer owner. So I've been in my head about that for sure. I'd say that's the number one thing before I go to bed and when I wake up that I'm thinking about, trying not to bring that energy into my day because I know that it's just going to bleed into my calls. But that's the biggest situation going on right now.
Okay, thank you for sharing that. I appreciate you sharing that. So the situation is that you're in a bit of a rut. When you say you're in a bit of a rut, give me some context on that. What's that look like in your life? What's the rut look like? What's the situation?
Since last week Thursday, like I mentioned, like I haven't closed a deal. So, and last month I closed about 30. So this month I've only closed 3, which coming into the middle of the month is somewhat concerning. So,
okay, so what I'm hearing you say is that you haven't closed any deals in the last 7 days. Is that right?
mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, how do you feel about that? Knowing that is the current reality that exists, you haven't closed anything, right? How do you feel about that? Right? What's the dominating feeling that comes up for you?
The dominating feeling is that last month was a fluke.
Okay, that's the story. I'm hearing that's the story you tell yourself about the situation, about last month. But what's the feeling you're experiencing in this moment, knowing that in the last 7 days, you have made a fucking sale? What do you feel? How do you feel about that?
Biggest feeling would be frustration and guilt.
Frustration. What's it like to feel frustration every time you wake up in the morning?
It doesn't feel good.
Yeah, I bet it doesn't feel good. I know what that's like. I've woken up mornings too where I felt so frustrated. And a lot of times I pretended I wasn't frustrated and I avoided that emotion. I get you. So I'm curious though, so you haven't had any sales in the last 7 days. What's the driving narrative that created this reality? What are you telling yourself right now about the situation? About the fact that you haven't actually had any sales in 7 days? What's the driving mental loop that's actually creating that?
think when I come out of not closing a deal, I tell myself that I'm not good enough.
Okay,
And
someone
if
write
I
that in the
was good
chat.
enough, and
Gabriel, write that in the chat. Write that narrative in the chat for me. Yeah, say that again, Vince.
yeah, it's after not closing a sale, I feel like I'm not good enough.
Okay, so after not closing a sale, you tell yourself what? What do you tell yourself?
I'm not skilled enough.
Put that in the chat, Gabriel. I'm not skilled enough. Okay, what else?
Not skilled enough. Start thinking that maybe my last month was a bit of luck.
Okay. Yeah, and so when you tell yourself that narrative that's playing, right? It's just playing on and off throughout the day, I imagine. Yeah, it's kind of playing. I'm not skilled. Like, fuck, I didn't get another sale. It's like, damn, I'm not skilled enough, or
Hmm.
I'm not good enough, right? It's the deeper meaning behind it, right? But let's
Hmm.
go even deeper. So you have this situation that's occurring, haven't closed in 7 days. I get that, right? You're making up this narrative that you're believing that's there. That's I'm not skilled enough. Fuck. And what's the meaning that you're giving it? What does that mean? That means I show up in what way? That means I don't show up in what way? There's meanings of behavior. There's meanings of actions you do or don't do. What does that mean?
I guess it means I'm not actually confident in the skill set that I do have.
And what that means is that what for the rest of the day or the rest of the week or the rest of the month?
It means that I go through the rest of my day, week, month with next to no confidence in my ability.
Okay, Gabriel, write that down. Meaning. Okay, got it. And when you show up in that meaning, what's the state you embody? So there's different ways of being, right? We show up that are empowering or disempowering. Right? What way of being are you operating in? What state? When you tell yourself that I'm not skilled enough and you make the meaning of that the rest of the month, it's just going to be a shit show. It's going to be a tough month, whatever the meaning you make of it is.
I think
What's
it's
the
a state
embodiment?
of yeah, I think it's a state of lack, a state of uncertainty, a state of fear.
Yeah.
My head will start to go all kinds of places.
Yeah. And how do you show up on a sales call? Certain or uncertain?
Very uncertain,
Confident or lack of confidence?
lack of confidence.
And when you show up with lack of confidence, how do you show up?
Well, unconfident and not the
Which,
person on the call the prospect needs.
so like passive, like selfish,
I'd say
like
defensive.
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 Okay.
Yeah, I
Anyone
think
else
like
here? Anyone else here defensive on a call? Get defensive on a call? Just put your hand on the camera if you've ever got defensive. Ever. Yeah, you're like, you just defend, right? Yeah, it's a natural mechanism. So other people can relate to that. It's true. It's what happens. I get that. Um, when you get defensive, how do you feel after the call? When you get defensive and you lost the sale, how you feel now?
yeah, honestly, like last night I was upset with myself because I knew the prospect needed what we had, like more
Hmm.
so than almost anybody I've talked to before. But
Hmm.
because I couldn't get her to see that and I got defensive in objection handling, it caused her to close up and
Hmm.
not partake in the program. That could literally change her life. So
Oh my
like those are
God.
the people
I
those are
bet it
the
could.
people I think about
Yeah.
when I
And
don't
what was
close a
the
sale.
action? What was the action that you've been taking from all the state that you're in, which is lack of confidence, kind of maybe a little bit passive, your fear, your uncertainty. What are the actions that you're taking every day right now? What's the behaviors look like for you being in that place?
Well, I know what I haven't been doing.
Yes, what haven't you been doing? And just
Yeah,
be
like
be
I've
be real.
I've
Yeah.
I get too focused on like the skill set. So like I spend less time in the gym.
Okay, less time in
So
the gym. What else? Let's get right. Like let's get laser with what
yep,
it is.
less
Yeah.
time in the gym, not as
So what do you
focused
do
on my
instead?
diet.
So what do you do instead?
I sit in my office.
Sleep in? You would stay up
Yep,
late? Yep,
yep.
got it. What else? What else do you do or avoid?
I avoid connection.
Okay, and how do you avoid connection? What does that behavior look like? How do you disconnect? It's always the opposite. How do you disconnect? What do you do to disconnect and I'm out and check out?
Uh, Typically it's a couple, one-word answers when I get home at the end of the day, and then turn on the TV to try forget.
Yeah, yeah, I get that. Listen, I live in addiction for 15 years. right? I get it. I was stuck in this inaction, this avoidance pattern. I was in this loop, right? The interesting thing is that my results suffered, all my results. Like I destroyed a marriage for 10 years. I destroyed my relationship with my kids for the first 5 years, all because of the situation, the story I made up in the moment that I was believing to be true, the meaning I was making about it, about myself, that became my identity. And then I would show up in a way that was like completely disempowered, right? Based on the emotion and the actions I took was complete avoidance patterns, right? My results were absolutely horrible. So what are your results are what right now? No sales in the last 7 days. But
Horrible.
big,
Yeah.
but bigger than that, forget the money. What's the results of your life? What's the fruit? Or the facts of your current results that you're getting because of that you're experiencing?
Well, I'd say like the fruit is rotten.
Yeah, the fruit's
It's
rotten.
not
Yeah,
edible. I'm not investing in relationship. I'm not investing in my health. So it's like a spiral effect just because I'm not closing deals.
yeah, yeah. What if that story wasn't true? I'm not skilled enough. Is that story true that I'm not skilled enough? Is it absolute truth that if I cut you open right now, where are you from, Vince?
Vancouver, Canada.
Okay, you're in Vancouver. I think I knew that. If I cut you open and there was a label inside of you, and the label said Vince from Vancouver, and it said I'm not skilled enough and I'm not good enough, would it exist there? Is there a label that says that inside you?
In terms of what I believe or what's actually true.
What's actually there? Is that there right now, physically inside you?
I don't think so.
No, no, it's not true. It's the subconscious prison you created because of the story and meaning that you've uninvestigated. It's not truth. What would be possible if you couldn't show up that way? If you didn't show up with the story, it was just gone. I'm not skilled enough. Who would you be?
I'd be a more skilled Vince.
Yeah, and how,
I'd
how
be
would you
exactly who I'm supposed to be.
and how would you show up on a sales call?
Confident, certain,
Yeah, yeah.
ready to
And how,
serve.
and how would you feel if you were confident and serving and selfless and with the prospect? How would you feel?
I'd feel amazing.
Yeah, and what would the actions you take? You would just end that call. You would be so what with them.
In sync, locked in.
Yeah, yeah. And what would be the result?
I mean, I could change somebody's life.
Fuck yeah. And that's what you're here to do, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's the truth? What's the truth story? What's the truth? You said I'm not skilled enough, which is actually the reason. The story and the meaning you're making up about all this is actually the problem. It is not that you put yourself in a prison. The prison is the story. So what's the truth?
I think the truth is I've been believing my own lie in that sense.
Okay. And what's the true story that you know is true?
The true story is that I am skilled enough. I have the ability to
Yeah.
help a prospect understand why they need to do the program that we offer to change their life.
Yeah. Say that again. I want to hear that again.
The
What's the
truth
truth?
is that I am skilled enough. I am skilled enough to help a prospect see that they do need what we offer in order to change their life.
Say that again, but I want to feel you. Like enroll me in that reality. Go.
The truth is that I am confident enough to get on a call and tell somebody and help them see that they need what we have in order to
Okay,
change their
okay, good.
life.
Stand up with me, and I want you to say with I am. Say I am. I don't want to hear the truth is. Just declare that shit because that's the fucking truth.
I am. Oh, you want me to do the whole thing?
Yeah, just say it. Don't even look. Just go. What is it? What's the truth?
Absolutely.
I am what?
I am confident enough to help somebody understand that what we have is here to change their life.
Yeah. And I want you to say, I am confident. I am confident. I want you to say that 20 times. And I want you to embody it and use your arms and use your hands. Go.
Just I am confident 20 times.
Yeah. Yeah. Just go at it and use your energy, use your words, use your body. We're going to end with this because you got to run in 2 minutes.
Okay. Okay. I got to take my headphones out because.
Okay.
Can you still hear me?
You're good. Go for it.
Okay. I'm confident. I am confident. I'm confident. I
Use
am
your arms.
confident.
Use your arms. Use your
I'm
shoulders. Use everything.
confident.
Use your whole body. Use your hips. Use
I
your
am
hips.
confident. I'm confident.
Yes.
I am confident. I am
Yes.
confident.
I am fucking confident. I am fucking confident. Yes.
I am confident. Vince is confident. I'm confident. I am confident. I am confident. I'm confident. I'm confident. I'm confident. I'm confident. Damn, it's gonna become my name now.
Fuck yeah. Because that's who you are without even trying. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
You've been telling yourself a fucking lie, man. And we just went through the 7-step framework. I'm gonna break it down for everyone in the last half an hour so y'all can apply it. Okay, y'all can apply this, but you need to see it and experience it, right? If I just teach this shit, you're not gonna be able to see it live. You're not gonna understand it, right? So Vince, what's coming up for you? What's the biggest, by the way, everyone give him some claps. Give him some fucking claps. That was awesome.
That was powerful.
It's powerful. You just inspired everybody else here.
You should be on this side of my camera.
Who here's inspired? Raise your hand. Yeah, me too. It's awesome. Vince, before you roll, how you feeling right now? What's the dominating feeling you're experiencing in this moment?
I feel amazing. I'm like excited to get like,
yeah.
and I haven't necessarily always felt that way because I come into each day like, fuck, I have to close a sale, not, hey, I have to go serve these people.
Yeah.
And now it's like, I am confident that I can help these people change their life. Like that
Yes.
is what I'm going to come into every single call with. So
yeah,
thank you.
And I know you got to run. I know you got to run. I'm gonna share this with all of you, but this is also for Vince. It's changed my life in sales. Literally, I doubled my commission 1 week just from this. I get to, not have to. I get to show up for this prospect. I get to be here with you. I get to serve you. I get to make these dials. I get to have 17 calls on my goddamn calendar today. I get to. I get to be here with you. Vince, give me a couple get-tos that you're gonna leave here with. Say that loud.
I get to serve people on the calendar. I get to work with an amazing team. I get to come to an office and see my son every day. I get to go away this weekend with my wife. I get to have the opportunity to literally change hundreds of people's lives every month.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, you get to. How many of you are experiencing Vince in a different way of being in an operating system that's a high frequency and you would buy from him? Yeah.
I'll put my link in the chat. I'll fucking take the calls from the River Rock Casino this weekend. Hop on.
Yeah. Whatever you're selling, I'm going to say this and write this down. What matters more than anything else is who you're being, not what you're saying. Who you're being, Matt, will make you double your commissions, all of you more the next week, more if you audit your ways of being more than what you say. So the Vince 1.0 that showed up today before this moment, right? I wouldn't buy from him just because who he's being. Would any of you buy from him the way he was showing up? No. Probably not. No. Right. But now he's in a state where he's transferring the energy where like he can influence the prospect, but he must influence himself first. It always starts with you. Always. Always. Always.
Appreciate you, Patrick.
Thank
I got to run. That was amazing.
You got it.
Thank you. I'll catch the rest of the recording.
Okay. We'll break it down. You got it.
Thank you so much. Have a great day, everyone.
All right, let's. I'm going to call on y'all because I want to keep everyone engaged. John, I'm going to bring you up. Give me your top number one takeaway. What are you taking away from this? And the way I like to do this is how are you going to apply this in your sales calls today?
Man, I think like the biggest takeaway was what you said at the very end. You know, what matters more than anything is the way that you show up, right? And what you do more so than what you say. And I can really relate to that in the sense of like I'm on an offer right now where I don't have as much conviction maybe as I would have had on other offers. And I can really feel that I'm saying the words, but I'm not acting in the way that closes deals. So like my main takeaway is really that last part, right? Like of Vince going through like restating to himself his confidence and also breaking down the story, right? Like what are you telling yourself? What is the truth? And then really declaring the truth over yourself. I mean, it's almost like church, you know, like very spiritual in some ways. But yeah, like that declaration of truth over yourself until it becomes like who you are.
So here, I'm going to give you, thank you for sharing that. I'm going to give you guys something you can start doing immediately. And Gabriel, where is Gabriel? Gabriel's here? He was here. Gabriel's in one of my programs where I train men to high-performing men to actually evolve as a man and in sales. right? One of the things that we do, and I want you all to consider doing this ASAP, is declaring your cash, declaring what you want, and doing it either publicly or doing it in the sales dojo. Like literally do it in the sales dojo. Okay. I have them do a minute voice of their declarations of what they're committed to creating. Right? How many of you wake up in the morning in a little bit of like, I fucking have to mindset? Raise your hand. Yeah. That's victim energy. Victim never sells. I know what that's like. Most salespeople I talk to, like they don't want to show up on call. That's victim energy. The problem is you won't make any money. And I get it. Like the 12-hour days, the 5-hour days, I've been in that state. But what's going to make a difference is declaring your reality. I think the studies show, I think it's 40%. If you declare what you're committed to creating, you declare publicly, the subconscious mind creates that reality automatically. I think it's 40%. Okay, so here's the framework. I'm gonna have you guys write this down. All right. And I challenge you all. I'm in the dojo too. I'm in the WhatsApps and stuff. I'd love to see you guys really jam on this. All right. If you're committed to it, maybe you're not. It's up to you. But one is, and the declaration is by the way, I did this morning too. I had my own declarations. I do this as well because it's so powerful, right? The energy from it's so powerful. So step number one is, what am I committed to creating? What's the outcome I'm committed to creating today? It could be 5 sales, right? 5 yeses, 3 shows, and 5 yeses. Be very detailed, very specific. What's the outcome I'm committed to creating? The power in this is the word creating. It's like, oh, I get to create that? Yeah, you do. Level 4 responsibility as well is you being the source of your reality. I am responsible for everything. By the way, write that down. Level 4 responsibility, right? To make the money you want, to live the life you want, is living in the world in the mindset of, if it's to be, it's up to me. If it's to be, it's up to me, right? I create my results. I create my reality. This is how I was able to go from $100,000 to $200,000 a month in commissions in 1 month. Because I went onto the account I sold on with Sales Sniper, Matt Ryder, Will Hinkson, all these guys. The account sucked. They didn't have any assets, any resources built. No resources, no assets. I was at a disadvantage selling to investors. They came on, and they were all skeptical. So I got resourceful and got into the mindset, what could I create? If it's to be, it's up to me. What could I create so that the prospect shows up and they're ready to buy? So I had to create all the pre-seduction assets. I created my own fucking funnel on ClickFunnels. I built it out, didn't know how to do funnels. So they would get all their questions answered before they showed up. My point is, if it's to be, it's up to me. Okay, if it's to be, it's up to me. Now, let me go back. I don't want to tangent too much, but step number 1 is declaring, what am I committed to creating? Okay, step number 2 is, who must I be? Excuse me. What am I committed to creating? And then, who must I be to have it happen? What are the ways of being that will drive that today? To have that outcome of 6 closed deals, right? There's ways of being that must drive that, right? Ways of being. I must be disciplined. I must be urgent. I must be on time. What are the ways of being? And then what am I committed to doing to have it happen, right? So what am I committed to creating, the outcome? Well, who must I be to create that? And what am I committed to do? 5 follow-ups, right? It could be 5, I call all my confirmations and be ruthlessly committed to ensure that they show up, right? What is the doing, right? And then what must I let go of? This is crucial. What must I release? What mindset must I let go of? What way of being must I let go of that's going to fuck it all up? If you don't own the reality of what's going to fuck it up, it's going to fuck it up. I must let go of the driving story that excuse. You all know excuses, right? I must let go of the way of being of passive, of I'm not good enough, the leads suck, the marketing sucks. I must let go of that shit. Like, gone, right? And then the next point is by when. Subconscious mind wants to fuck this up. So you got to have a by when you're committed to achieve that outcome. By 2 o'clock, by 3 o'clock, by 5 o'clock. Right. And then I like to end it with an anchored mindset. I'm committed, not interested. I'm committed, not interested. I'm committed, not interested. I'm fucking committed, not interested. All right, you guys track that? Yeah. It doesn't matter if it's all that. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's just declaring what you're committed to. Right. At the end of the day. Cool. All right, cool. So my challenge is to hop in the dojo and see. I'd love to see who's committed to that. Yeah. might not be, but that's okay. But this is a framework you can use. You can go online. The highest form of I talked about this in my container the other day. It's all about leverage. Who here wants to make bigger commission checks? Raise your hand. I know everybody does. Come on. Okay. The game is leverage. More money is by getting higher leverage points. Leverage point number one with Christian is that you're in this container. Leverage number two is that you showed up today. The highest form of leverage is accountability, public accountability. Public accountability. Long story short, because I want to jump into the actual breaking down the 7 stages. 2020, COVID, I was 22% body fat. I needed to get leverage on myself because I was in a mindset that was not going to get me down to 5% body fat, 10% body fat. So I got leverage. Leverage point number one, I hired a bodybuilding coach. Leverage point number two, I went on Facebook and I said, I'm going to do a bodybuilding show and sign up. Leverage point number three, because I was still not 100% putting core in myself to win. Number three was I said on Facebook Live, I'm going to show my body every day. I'm a before and after every day, or excuse me, every week. So every week I went live for 12 weeks showing my progress. And I went down to during COVID when there was no weights. You guys remember that time? That was a really tough time. No gyms and shit. I went down to 7% because of the leverage points. So this is the point I'm making is how can you gain leverage? This is a tool you can use to get to gain leverage. Okay. The only thing that will fuck it up is the story or the meaning you make about it. Wrapping this back to where we are. The story or meaning that you make up about it, about the situation. Okay. So I'm going to drop in the chat here. I'm going to drop in. This is it. This is what I just did. This is the 7-stage chain code, belief chain code. Situation, story, meaning, way of being, state, emotion, action, and result. Situation, right? I went through Vince's situation. You guys heard me on that, right? I went through the story the narrative that he's making up about a situation, right? With a prospect particularly, think about it. They're in a situation and they're in a story about the situation. If you don't know the story that they're in, then how are you supposed to get them to a new state of empowerment to buy? Because people buy because they feel like it. But if they're showing up in a story and it's driving their current reality, you have to change the story and the meaning they're making about it, right? So I literally would ask a prospect, right? What led you here? What's the belief or the mindset that led you to actually not doing something about your situation? You haven't done anything for 20 years. What's the driving narrative that created that reality? Right? Oh, this, blah, blah, blah. What's the number one thing? What's the driving narrative? That's why you haven't done anything about your situation. What are you believing? What have you believed? It's just getting clear on the situation and then the story. They're going to want to go all over the place, right? And tell you all these different things, but what's the real story? What's really driving this? Right? Yeah, I like that, Safi. Cool. You saw me go into the meaning. They're making a meaning about themselves. So there's different levels of pain. Getting to the source level of pain is getting down to the meaning that they're making about themselves. When you can get a prospect to actually reveal the true identity that they're in that's causing the source of the problem, for them to not actually move forward last year, this year, 6 months ago, the real meaning of what they're making up about themselves, then you can actually change their life because you can transform that meaning into something different, right? You can talk about the meaning. You can talk about other things. Just like I was going through with Vince. What did I ask him? What was the question? I asked him. Do I remember? I said, is it true that X? Is it true? So investigating that belief, right? Is it true that you don't have the skills? Is it true? Right? So let's go through the meaning. So then the state. So the state is influenced by the meaning. So he changed his state because what? We changed the meaning, didn't we? You guys saw that. We changed the story and changed the meaning around it. And then I just had him anchor in that state. And my state influenced his state. And because I was aware of this belief pattern chain, I was able to influence his state. I was able to ask him these questions, right? I was able to do that because I've done this on myself dozens and dozens of times. So here's what I want to do. I'm going to pause this right now, and I want you all to write out for me specifically. Get a piece of paper. And on the left side of a piece of paper, I want you to write a situation in your life or situation in sales. So there's 2 sides of the piece of paper. You can do it in your notes on your phone. Right now, the situation you're in right now, that's not working. Right. By the way, that's a good question to ask prospect when they get on a call. What's not working right now is why you showed up. What's not working inside your business? What's not working inside your life? Beautiful question to open up a call. What's not working? So situation, what's not working? So I want you all to write that out. You can put it in the chat as well. It might be easier for some of you. What's not working? What's a situation that's not working? And I want it to be one sentence. Keep it simple. This is not working. Okay. And then number two, you're going to write out what's the story, the driving mental loop from that situation that you believe that's coming from the situation. What's driving that situation? What are you believing that's driving that? What are you thinking every day that's causing that? Right. When I was in addiction, the situation is I can't get out of addiction. I can't overcome this. It's too hard. Like I love binge eating and I love cigarettes and I love overeating. I had a food addiction. Like I don't want to change. I'm so scared to. That was my driving story. What's your driving story in your situation? What that meant for me in addiction is I'm stuck forever. I'm hopeless. There's no way out of this. So what's the meaning you're making up about your situation? What's the story that's playing all the time? What's the meaning you're making up? What's the meaning you're making up? One sentence. It's so simple. So simple, guys. And what's the one or two or three states that you're in when you really think about it, when you write down this meaning? What's the actual state that you show up in when you really get true with this situation? What's the state? What's the disempowering state that you show up in? And what's the core emotion when you really get real and honest with yourself that you really experience? What's the core emotion below that? Sadness, disappointment, anger, frustration. And what are the actions that you're taking right now or that you're avoiding? One action, taking, one action, avoiding. So simple, right? So simple. And then what's the result? What is the result that you're getting in your life? Which is the fruit? No money to bank account, toxic relationship, my kids hate me. Facts of the fruit. What are the facts of the fruit? What are the facts of the results you're getting? Fuck, I owe the IRS $100,000. I've been there. Like, what are the facts? What's the truth? All from this. Yeah. And who would like to share? We'll have one person come up and share. Who would like to share? We're not gonna do a hot seat. We're just sharing. One share. Hey, buddy. Y'all still working? Okay. Anyone want to share? Okay. No shares. That's okay. We're gonna flip it now. Now we're gonna flip the opposite. Okay. I want you to write this down. Write these words. The new story I choose to live from is. The new story I choose to live from is. Same situation, different story. Right? Make it so simple. One sentence. And number two is the meaning I give this challenge is. The meaning that I give this challenge is. What's the meaning that you give this challenge now? Because I'm in this situation, in this pit, in this addiction, what it means is that there's a way out and I'm going to find a way. And I'm ready. That's the meaning I changed in 2016. I just made a decision. The meaning is the decision because the meaning is the identity. It's the belief, right? So a new decision is the meaning. The meaning I get this challenge is this. It means today I'm gonna X, Y, Z. What's the meaning? And the third one is what the way I choose to show up is. The way I'm choosing to show up is. And what's the being? Empowered, excited, enthusiastic, loving, urgent. The ways of being is what drives this, right? And the emotion that I'm choosing to embody is. What's the emotion you choose to embody? one core emotion. And the new aligned action that I'm committed to taking is. The new aligned action that I'm committed to taking is. Because to anchor in the new story, the new meaning, there must be an action. Or the subconscious mind says, yeah, right. See, I told you, I told you, I told you, I told you. So this is old identity, new identity, old identity, new identity. Action. It could be something small. It could be so small. So what's the action right now on this moment you're committed to doing? Maybe it's a phone call. Maybe it's connecting with a partner. Maybe it's a text message. Maybe it's a big, bold decision. But what's a aligned action that you're committed to taking? And what result now you're committed to create? What's the result now you're committed to create? What's the result now that you're committed to create? Would anyone like to share? Totally fine. So this is the same 7 steps that you take a prospect through. But until you embodied it yourself, how could you do it with prospect? Right? It's really simple. It's literally you get the driving narrative that's leading them to not do anything about the situation, right? You're asking, is this way of thinking going to actually get you what you want? It's the same thing I asked with Vince, isn't it? You get him to just say, hey, no, it's never going to get me to my future. Okay. So what new story do you have to choose in order to make sure you create that reality? Whether it's with me or not, I don't really care. But like right now, you're in a prison in your own mind. Like you cannot create this reality because right now the story that you've chosen to this point is that fear, like the fear that you've got burnt in the past. Like it's never going to work. I get it. I've been there too. Right? You're just walking them through this whole process, and then you start to shift their the state shifts automatically because they feel what? Empowered. Don't they? And your job as a salesperson is to empower them to change, to transform them. And I can change your life, but they have to acknowledge and change the meaning behind what's actually stopping them. Right. And then you ask them, what's the new action you know you're committed to taking from here? What do you know you need to do? I love that question. What do you know you need to do? Knowing that like this reality, this current reality is keeping you stuck. This driving narrative has actually kept you from getting the results you want. What do you know you need to do? How do you feel right now? I feel amazing. No, okay, it's not true, is it? Got it. Okay. So what do you need to do? I need to hire someone. I know. You ready to get started? Okay. Well, I don't know if it's a good fit yet. Let's keep going through the call, right? But it's like this is the 7-step chain. Okay, I'm gonna stop right here. We'll do a little debrief. What questions do you guys have? What's coming up? This is a little debrief time. Matthew.
Hey Patrick, what's up?
Hey, what's up?
I think you kind of covered it, but could you clarify taking the prospect through the meaning they're making about their story, and then moving into the empowerment, the state, the emotion they're choosing? Could you just clarify that transition piece?
Yeah, watch. Just put it here. And what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to put up my WhatsApp. Send me a message, and I'll give you the whole breakdown of this. I've got a whole SOP that I create for my Sales Savage Accelerator program, my guys that I train on this stuff. I'm going to give it to you guys for free. I'll put actually my number in the chat. I have a whole breakdown of this, so you can use this immediately. Okay, like examples. So that's my number in the chat. Just shoot me a message. This is a situation, right? This will help you break it down, I think, Matthew. So situation, she can't lose weight and keep it off. She tried everything. Stories about themselves, nothing ever works for me. I'm destined to stay overweight. There's a story about you. She's coming on the call with. Nothing's ever going to work for me. I'm destined to be overweight. Excuse me. I can't trust this or any program or any coach. I mean, you guys know about that one, right? Shows up. The meaning she's making up is I'm just going to show up on a call, take the information, and probably won't succeed. The way being defeated, you can see it like she's defeated. The emotions, shame, guilt, doubt, or isolation. And if you as the salesperson don't acknowledge her shame or discover it or her doubt or her pain, then she can't open up and trust you. Right? This is why I asked Vince, how do you feel about that? When that shows up, how do you feel? Right? Knowing that reality, you're in that reality. The action she takes that she will on the call is doesn't enroll, delays decision. She's still stuck. She's not changed. So this is the before. Okay. Does that help a little bit more, Matthew?
Yeah, I'm sensing this is the before, and then
Yeah.
at some point there's a transition to, would you like to make a new meaning? Could you want to, is that the idea?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yes.
Cool. Yeah, thanks Patrick, great stuff.
You're You're welcome. You're welcome. So I'm going to give you guys an assignment. Okay. If you text me, you'll have a larger breakdown. I'll give this to you guys. The assignment that I'm going to give you guys is simply to write out your offer. Go in your offer and write this out. Write your avatar, write your prospect out, write their situation, the story, the meaning, the way of being, emotion, action, and result. In fact, I go in ChatGPT, put 2 or 3 calls in there, it'll fucking spit it out for you. You'll be like, damn, because if you can talk to the prospect and reveal things that before they even reveal them to them, right? They're going to trust the hell out of you. You're going to close more deals. They're going to trust you because they know you're talking to what they're already thinking. So obsess about using the value chain or the value chain, using the chain code and these specific steps to understand at a deeper level the source of the problem so you can change the meaning. Change the meaning.